Mario is the most iconic character in gaming. There, I said it. You can argue with me if you want, but you'd be wrong. And 3 reasons why you are wrong are right here in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, with Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. So let's start at the start with Super Mario 64.
Here we go!
This originally launched with the Nintendo 64 in 1996, or 97 for us Aussies, which was before my time. This was Mario's first real foray into the world of 3D. It basically created the formula 3D platformers still use today. The setup is simple. Mario is invited over for cake by Princess Peach, but when he gets to the castle, you guessed it, Bowser's there too, and he didn't come for the cake. So you run around from room to room, leaping into paintings, which each lead to unique worlds full of stars for you to collect, which in turn will unlock more rooms with more worlds and more stars to find, which will let you eventually take on the big bad Bowser. I think there were a few things that made this game special. Firstly, the controls. Mario's moveset is spot on. I always find myself triple jumping and long jumping all around the levels, even if it's pointless, just because it feels so good to do. The worlds are the real stars though. Each painting you launch into is full of memorable characters and challenges, with little stories that progress within each world. And Peach's castle itself is an iconic hub world, and it's full of fun secrets to find. It's certainly not perfect. Some worlds are sort of forgettable or even just annoying. Water levels. Getting the camera to do what you want is a regular pain in the butt, and Mario has this habit of just taking a step forward rather than turning around. Bowser is a breeze compared to navigating a ledge, and let's face it, the graphics haven't aged that well. Out of the 3 games in this package, this is the one that deserved to get a full-on remake. Something like we saw Spyro and Crash get. Or even just make it widescreen, that would have been nice. Oh, they could have called it Super Mario Switch D4. Talk about missed opportunities. But it's still an undeniable classic, and it holds up remarkably well. But let's move on now to the follow-up, the GameCube Super Mario Sunshine. This time out, Mario and Peach head off to Isle Delfino for a relaxing summer holiday. But on arrival, Mario is arrested and blamed for a series of crimes committed by a nefarious-looking doppelganger.
Mario?
Not the best start to a vacation. So Mario is stuck cleaning up the mess, quite literally. He straps on a sentient water-spraying backpack contraption known as the Flood, which lets him blast away a variety of gunk and goo, as well as hover, or with special nozzles he can find, speed around or launch into the sky. It makes for one of the more unique Mario games for sure. The ability to hover really opens up the levels, and there's always something very satisfying about spraying away muck. I love the bright, sunny setting, and you can tell they really let loose with their creativity with this outing. I mean, you get to fight a 10-story high Mecha Bowser while shooting rockets from a roller coaster. I didn't always love the Flood though. There are a few times where you have to be precise with it, and it's a bit fiddly to aim. Plus, it feels a touch odd in a Mario game in my opinion. You know, leave the weird contraptions to Luigi. And while the levels are great, they do overstay their welcome a smidge. There are far fewer worlds here compared to other Mario games, so you end up spending a lot more time in each one. And there are some real difficulty spikes here too. Don't let the sunny look fool you, this can get real tricky. I swear, I never want to see a watermelon again. Still, overall, it's a bright, bold, sunny good time, and it really shines on the Switch. But let's move on now to my favourite game in the collection, Super Mario Galaxy. This, to me, is 3D Mario perfection. Story-wise, it's Mario, Bowser, Peach, yada yada yada, but you're in space. What I love about this is just the pure, non-stop joy and creativity. From that swelling orchestral soundtrack to the barrage of world after world of gravity-bending new ideas. Where Sunshine's worlds overstayed their welcome, Galaxy just distills every great little idea into its own perfect planetoid to play with before you launch off into space for the next one. And running on the Switch, it 100% looks like a modern game. But there are still some motion controls left over from it originally being on the Wii. It's somewhat baffling that you still need to use the pointer or touch controls to navigate menus. But otherwise, they all work well on the Joy-Cons, and I appreciate that you can now just press a button to spin attack instead of waggle. Other than that though, I don't have much more to say about it. It's a near perfect platformer, although that does make me sadder that Galaxy 2 wasn't included here. Overall though, Super Mario 3D All-Stars has 3 of the best platformers of all time, each a 5 out of 5 contender. But as an overall package, it's hard not to feel like they've put the bare minimum effort into this collection. The only real extra here is the fact they run at a higher resolution and you can play the soundtracks in the menu. Compared to what we've seen in some other great remakes of classic games recently, this is as basic as it gets. Of course, they are absolute classics, and I can see the value in preserving the original works as they were. But that does lead me to the Wario in the room here, because this isn't really going to be preserving anything. This collection is only available until the end of March next year. I can only speculate as to why that is, as Nintendo haven't given any reason for it. Except to say that as of March 31st, you simply won't be able to buy this digitally. And if you haven't got one of the limited physical copies, then you're out of luck. To be honest, I feel all kinds of ways about this. I don't like it, I don't get it, and it just seems bizarre to me. Also, I kind of don't know how to factor that into the score. Well, I guess I'm giving Super Mario 3D All-Stars 4 out of 5 rubber chickens. But only until the end of March, and then it gets 0.